The following broadcast is a copyrighted presentation of the DHN Media Group. Any non-personal retransmission of this broadcast without the express written consent of the DHN Media Group is hereby prohibited. Rowan and Delaware about to square off on a Friday night at Fred Rust Arena, and we're live on Delaware Hockey Night. Hi everybody, welcome in to Fred Rust Arena for another edition of Delaware Hockey Night, a Mid-Atlantic Collegiate Hockey Conference matchup between the University of Delaware Blue Hens, who bring a 7-1 record into tonight's game, and they square off against the Rowan Profs. James Witherite joining you alongside Bob Thomas here this evening. Bob, it's great to have you back.
As always, James. It's always great to be here with you.
A heated rivalry between these two teams. Delaware and Rowan split last season in conference play, and we can always expect a fast physical matchup between these two teams. Although it's worth noting on the Delaware side, Ryan Johnson out of the lineup tonight, co-leading scorer with 6 goals. So Devin LeBlanc and Shane Moran will be joined on the top line by Ryan Lowe. And how about the power from the blue line this season so far? Of course, Andrew Marciniak and Adrian Rodriguez, but Eddie Martorella with both game-winning goals last week, and Marty with the party, I guess we can say. He's really stepped up in a big way too.
James, isn't it kind of neat to see both the D1 team and the D2 team with such strong defensive play? And when I say defensive, I mean the defensive core is not only good in their own zone, but they're actually contributing a lot in the offensive zone. So
certainly,
it's really great.
Certainly are. They're about to take the ice here at Fred Rust Arena, so without further ado, as you see the lights go down, let's listen into the action here at the barn. Still waiting for all parties involved to arrive. Got the hold sign from rink manager Chris Knapp. We'll take this moment to let you know the referees tonight are Mike McGee and John Patnod. Mike McGee working double duty with collegiate hockey and also his first season in the American Hockey League, so congratulations very due, Mike, as he embarks on his first AHL season. The linesmen tonight, Johnny Casey Jr. and Owen Doan. Here they are, as mentioned. Mike McGee and John Patnod in the bands. Johnny Casey and Owen Doan, the linesmen here this evening. The Rowan Profs coming on in their away brown sweaters will travel from right to left in period number 1. As you can see, if you're joining us on Delaware Hockey Night TV, it is pitch black in here right now. Some ultraviolet lights at center, but beyond that, the mood is set for a Friday night Mid-Atlantic Collegiate Hockey Conference battle. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to Fred Rust Arena, University of Delaware Blue Hens. The Blue Hens decked out in those sharp new white sweaters, the Blue Hen logo, and blaze it on the front, blue numbers on the sleeves and back. Blue pants, blue helmets, gold trim the whole way around, and they'll travel left to right here in period number 1, backstop by Steven Odgers, who is 6-1 to get things going here in the 2019-2020 season. It's that time for starting lineups and opening introductions. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Fred Rust Arena, the American Collegiate Hockey Association and the Mid-Atlantic Hockey Conference present this evening's exhibition seating between the visiting Rowan University Profs and your University of Delaware Blue Hens. Here are tonight's starting lineups. For Rowan, in goal, number 35, Kyle Ray. Starting on defense, number 12, Sam Ingram. And number 17, Frank Christie. At forward, number 13, Trevor Ritchie. Number 14, Bobby Hancock. And number 20, Nick Wallace. It's time for a Friday night party in Newark, Bob Thomas.
Let's have some fun, James.
Let's do it. Delaware traveling left to right in those home white sweaters. Backstop by Stephen Odgers, as mentioned. Devin LeBlanc getting the starting duties at center for the Hens tonight. He is the leading scorer on this team with 6 goals and 6 assists. He'll be flanked by Ryan Lowe and Shane Moran on the top line. Dylan Knox and Eddie Martorella will hold down the back end of the starting unit. And, of course, a pair of strong two-way defenders manning the second pair, and Adrian Rodriguez, the Floridian, and Andrew Marciniak, the Chicagoan. On the Rowan side, it will be Trevor Rucci. And to take the opening face-off, as best we can surmise, his wingers are Bobby Penrod and Nick Ramos. Kyle Rink getting the starting duties in net for Rowan, decked out in those sharp new brown sweaters with the Rowan logo emblazoned on the front. And off we go in the first state. Puck played up the near boards by Sam Ahern from his own blue line for Rowan. Under pressure from Moran, he's able to get it past center and dump it in behind the Delaware goal, where the puck is steadied by Odgers. A little bit of pressure in front from Bobby Penrod on the forecheck, but Odgers was able to work it free with a little help up ahead from the Delaware zone. Back it comes to Martorella. Played across the Delaware blue line by Moran. Back it comes now to Knox. Poke checked away from him by Nick Ramos, generating a breakaway. He dekes net front. Big save made by Odgers, extending that right leg to keep this game scoreless in the first 38 seconds. Puck contested at the top of the near circle, and Moran is able to work it away from Sam Ahern. He carries it in to the near half wall of the Rowan zone. Under pressure from Rucci at the near side, he backhands it in behind the Prof's goal. Moran with it again now, chasing down that loose puck. Tried to play it up to Rodriguez at the far point, but that pass was intercepted by Penrod through the middle. He works it on ahead to Chris Conlon, and off that headman pass just 65 seconds in, Rowan takes a 1-0 lead.
James, right off the get-go, you can see that there's a reason why Rowan's 5-0 right now. They're fast. They pass really well. They look for seams, and that was just a beautiful seam pass to Spring, the forward breaking up the left side there, and what a beautiful shot that was.
He was able to go top shelf with it. Chris Conlon had all the space in the world off that headman pass up the middle from Bobby Penrod, and just like that, Rowan, wasting no time, is up 1-0.
Beautiful shot by Conlon.
Really, really, really was. Rowan goal scored by number 21, Chris Conlon, assisted by number 14, Bobby Penrod. Time of the goal, 1 minute, 5 seconds. Chris Conlon's first from Penrod at 1 minute and 5 seconds. So once again, the Blue Hens forced to play catch-up right from the get-go. And they'll get a little bit of a break here at the 146 mark with the Profs guilty of an icing. And the second line coming on for Delaware. Trevor Early, first-year Blue Hen, handling the face-off at the near circle. Across from Ryan Conlon, brother of Chris, on the Rowan side. It's cleared out by Stricken as far as center, batted down by Dylan Green, worked ahead now to Tofty up the near boards, who dumps it into the near corner of the Rowan zone. Shoveled out by Stricken around to the far side, kept in by Early at the half wall. He tries to walk through traffic in the high slot, loses control of the puck. It is taken away by Ryan Conlon. Thrown up the middle, no icing, stretch pass the other way from Green to Tofty, shot from the outside edge of the right circle, stick save by Rink, directs that to the far corner, where it's handled by Rucci behind his own cage. Played to Sam Ahern near side, puck sails past him, Sapia chases it down, checks Rucci off the biscuit, back it comes to Martorella at the left point. Cycled into Dylan Pasley as the third line gets their first cuts of the game, 2.5 minutes in. Advantage Rowan, they're up 1-0 over the Delaware Blue Hens if you're just joining us. Penrod through the neutral zone, skated into a 1-on-2, got stood up at the Delaware blue line, still was able to dump the puck in behind the Blue Hens goal before it was taken away by Knox. Lofted just over the Rowan blue line, back it comes to Knox off the stick of Alex Ahern. It's played up to Pasley in neutral territory. Cross ice pass ricochets off the far boards at center. Mishandled by Larry Hooper, taken on by Alex Ahern. Played back through neutral territory, but batted down there by Sapia. Cycled around to the near side where Knox at center red launches it back in behind the Rowan goal. It caroms out to the far half wall, played on by Brendan Milliken. Loose puck at center, taken on by Martorella, who comes off for some fresh legs. He shovels it off his backhand, deep into Rowan territory again. Battle for it in the far corner. Pat Swain lowers the hip on Sam Ahern, and the Rowan defender was able to take some heat out of not a hot kitchen, but it's getting a little bit warm in the Rowan zone. Back in comes Joette in a 2-on-2. Will Joette works it in close to Pat Swain. Shot from right on the welcome mat, clears the crossbar, rings off the glass, rebounds to the near side. At the mid-boards, Joette throws it in close. Swain crashes the cage, runs into Sam Ahern, net front, lost his footing. Ahern able to gain control of the puck. And we will have our first penalty, it appears, at the 4:03 mark of the first period. The guilty party, Bobby Labrossi, for what appeared to be a slash.
Yeah, it was definitely a slash call, James, and you don't want to see that, especially when your team's got some momentum going and they're down and they're pushing and pushing. I mean, it's one thing to take a penalty, but the offensive zone penalty.
Offensive zone penalties. I feel like we're talking about this every night we're together, Bob.
Exactly. That's just a bad penalty to take this early, because you're starting to pick up momentum.
Delaware penalty assessed to number 10, Bobby Labrossi, 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalty, 4 minutes and 3 seconds. Labrossi, 2 for slashing at 4:03. Good puck movement on the power play. Cross slot pass from Ramos to Ryan Conlon at the left dot. He could not connect from there. Big pad save made by Steven Odgers, and the defensive core on this Delaware penalty kill, at least the first wave of it, was able to clear. So 45 seconds have gone by. In the penalty to Labrossi, Larry Hooper causing some forechecking mayhem on the PK. Trevor Rucci regains his footing for Rowan. Works it up into neutral territory, flips the puck to his right and Ryan Conlon. He circles behind the cage, throws one net front. Penrod not on the doorstep. He was unable to connect. Puck batted to the near corner, swatted at by Nauman, but kept in the control of Ryan Conlon. Worked up to the left point and Cohen to Conlon. Cross slot pass. Rucci rang one off the post at the 5.5 minute mark. 40 seconds to go on this Rowan power play, their first of the night. Another shot from the outside of the right circle came from Rucci. It was blocked down by Tyler Swift, holding close to home. Trying to launch the puck out of harm's way was Hooper as he lost his footing. He got it as far as the Rowan blue line in 10 feet before it was batted down by Cohen. and advanced into neutral ice. Right in front of the scorer's table, a battle surrounding the puck develops. It is knocked loose by Delaware's Kyle Sapia. Here comes Swift into a 1-on-2. He gains the Rowan blue line, but lost the puck. Able to burn some time off the penalty to Labrossi. And back out it comes through neutral territory. Cross-ice pass from Cohen to Chris Conlon. And the penalty has expired. So Delaware able to kill off one, but they still trail the Rowan Profs 1-0 just beyond the 6-minute mark of this first period. Strong forecheck from Alex Ahern on the Rowan side, but Martorella and Knox were able to work the puck free. Advanced up the left wing boards to Raymore. Raymore working through the slot, could not maintain his momentum. Puck poke checked out of his control. Floated back in, up the far boards by Martorella. And with a puck out of play at the 6:40 mark, we have a stoppage in the action.
James, Delaware's going to have to be really, really aware of those long diagonal stretch passes. They've connected on a couple. The first goal was definitely one. There's been a few times where it's just barely missed on those plays. On the power play, Delaware did a good job, but Rowan kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit with the post, and then also Conlon took a little much time. You're not going to beat odds with that shot.
Early right back in off the neutral zone draw. Shot from the right dot. He was denied by Rink. Follow-up opportunity opposite side. Knox couldn't get past either. Rowan's able to press out of their zone. Puck corralled by Martorella behind his own goal on the Delaware side. Across to his left, Dylan Knox shovels it over the blue line. Ahead to Early. Up the left wing boards. He tried to find Raymore, couldn't do so. Back out it comes. Tofty launches it back in from the right point. Tried to chase it down to the near corner, but it was taken away from him by Jake Kelly, who is in the game here tonight, wearing number 23, despite being reported as a healthy scratch during pregame. So we apologize for that errant information. Meanwhile, Andrew Marciniak forced deep in his zone. Played the puck up the near side, trying to connect with Devin LeBlanc. But that breakout pass was broken up by a Rowan forechecker, deflected out of play. So this faceoff will at least come outside the Delaware blue line.
The Delaware forwards have to move their feet a little bit more on these breakouts, James. If you watch Rowan, they're moving. As soon as they get the puck, they're moving. They're looking for those diagonal seams, and they're hitting them. Delaware, on the other hand, is not. They're trying to push the puck through guys, and nobody's moving. You got to use that speed on this big sheet of ice. No reason why not. There you go again.
Speed. Here's a 2-on-1 Meldrum centering pass. Ryan Conlon couldn't flip one in net front. Was that Pat? No, that was McGee who went down in the far corner. He's back up on his feet. Meanwhile, up the middle for Delaware comes Adrian Rodriguez. Puck poke checked away from him by Ahern. Taken away as Rodriguez lost his stick. And Rowan once again able to move the momentum back into neutral ice. It seems so far, Bob, that Rowan's beating Delaware at their own game, which is speed.
Very much.
Knox shot, or rather that was low from the right dot, who let one go, but his shot was stick checked up into the protective netting and out of play. With 8.5 minutes.
You can clearly see that, James, on those breakouts. When you look at Rowan versus Delaware's breakout, you can definitely see the difference there.
Delaware with an attacking zone draw coming up. It is won by Jouette, play to the near boards. Labrossi can't keep it going. Up ahead along the near wall, Ramos is able to shovel it out off his backhand to center red. He and the other 20, Dylan Green, collide vying for the puck. The Profs are able to press forward. Rucci absorbs a check at the near half wall. And Jouette's going to get rung up for interference. So it appears as new AHL linesman Mike McGee gives us the signal. Congratulations go out to Mike on that promotion. It will be Nauman sent off for interference at the 8-minute 51-second mark. Of the first period. And the Hens on the PK again are able to start by firing the puck up in the atmosphere and in behind the Rowan goal. So while on their second PK of the night, at least it's off to a better start. Ryan Conlon unable to work free. Hooper with a cannon from the right point. Rink with the stick save. Turns the puck back into the path of Ryan Conlon, and here come the Profs on the offensive. Delaware penalty assessed to number 32, Mike Nauman. 2 minutes for interference. Time of the penalty, 8 minutes, 51 seconds. Nauman 2 for interference at 8:51. Rucci to Cohen up high. Back it comes to the right half wall, and Rucci in behind Ramos. Ryan Conlon from the bottom edge of the left circle tried to shovel one pass from 25 feet. Penrod completes the quintet in this first wave of the Rowan power play as we near the midway point of the first period. Cohen with a long wrister from 55 feet away, glanced off the waffle pad of Odgers. Back out to the left point, Conlon. Across to Ramos, centering pass on the doorstep, Rucci denied. Martorella was able to get a piece of that shot attempt, and now Martorella clears the puck, races on for it. Marty hustling back to the Rowan blue line, but Cohen a half step quicker was able to work it back from right to left, now to the path of Ryan Conlon, up ahead to Trevor Rucci, who couldn't bury one from point blank range. He was just 10 feet away at a 45-degree angle. Past the halfway point now. Cohen from the left point, missed the net by a good foot to the right side, kept in by Rucci at the far half wall for the Profs. Back it comes to Penrod, outside edge of the left circle, stepping up. Tofty puts the pressure on him, down to the last 15 of the interference minor to Mike Nauman. Ramos, centering pass from the left corner, in front to Ryan Conlon, shoveled through the blue paint across to the far side. Rucci down low, cross-slot pass, chance from Bobby Penrod was denied by Stephen Odgers and subsequently cleared as the penalty comes to its conclusion. We've passed the 11-minute mark, and after that first goal from Rowan, the only goal so far from Chris Conlon at the 105 mark, it seems like the Hens are starting to get their feet under them a little bit better here.
But I'm really impressed with Rowan's passing, James. I really am. They're already, it's not even like, well, looking up past there, everybody's got a spot and they're hitting it.
The difference maker in that power play for Rowan, Martorella and Odgers. Martorella did a great job clogging up the slot, and Odgers is tracking the puck like you wouldn't believe. But the puck movement from this Rowan side, it's clean, it's crisp, it is fast. They're generating the opportunities. They're just not able to penetrate Martorella and Odgers so far.
Well, that the perfect example are those shots coming from the dots, going dot to dot, and they're trying to hold the puck. They're not going to beat Odger like that. He's just too good of a goalie. He tracks it too well, James. You're absolutely right.
Tofty with the dump and chase the other way for Delaware. He got to Red near side before flipping it into the far corner. Fresh legs on. LeBlanc's got a tag up. Meanwhile, Moran ricochets it off the near boards. Ryan Lowe chases the puck down. So too does LeBlanc near side. It's a 2-on-1 battle for the Biscuit. They surround Sam Ahern at the near corner. Ahern's able to work it free to Chris Conlon. 2-on-2 rush up the middle went Matt Meldrum. He gets tied up in the near corner after trying to chase down the puck. Dylan Green putting the pressure on him. Here comes Lowe up the other way, another 2-on-2 for Delaware. Drop pass to the top of the left circle. Shane Moran can't flip one past Rink. He bobbled the puck from his glove hand. It was nearly cleared out by Chris Conlon. Launched back in from up high and caught this time by Kyle Rink. Was it Swifty with the shot?
It was. Like. It was Swifty.
I was looking the other way. You had the pleasure of coaching Tyler Swift at Salesianum,
that was
along with a
Swift.
number of these boys.
He's smart with it, too. Like, he knows that the guy's right there putting heat on him, so instead of trying to wind one up, he just gets the puck off his stick with a nice wrist shot.
That's the thing about the Salesianum program. You and head coach / GM Brian LeBlanc have done a nice job of instilling hockey IQ in these gentlemen, and it shows here.
It's very important, you know, James. The game keeps getting faster, more wide open, so you have to think really quick. It's read and react, but it's speed, not only in the feet but the brain.
It has to get to the point where it's automatic, really. Shot from Ramos between the circles was wide on the Rowan side. To his side, they battle for the Biscuit off the rebound behind the Delaware goal. It's brought out by Trevor Early. Advance to Hooper, across now to the accelerating Dylan Pasley up the right side. Shot from the top of the right circle. Missed the left post by a foot the wrong way. And back out into Delaware territory it comes, where Larry Hooper is able to recover. We are nearing the 13-minute mark of the first period. Looks like we've got a bit of a clock issue here at Fred Rust Arena, as the clock to our right is showing 7:21 steady. It is not moving. Now it is. Max Flink a little bit of sleep on the job here, so we're going to get some bonus hockey out of it. To whose advantage it ends up, it's too early to tell. Pasley takes a punishing check in the far corner. And it looks like we'll see Rowan going to the sin bin for the first time tonight. It will be stricken.
You know, James, it's funny because this is just the opposite of what we saw last week. What we saw last week with Ohio and Delaware. That was more of everybody hits, everybody hits. This is pretty much a wide open game. Except for that hit right there, it's been a clean, wide open game.
It really has. The penalties have been not egregious.
No.
But that one certainly garnered some discussion. We're going to see what's happening on the clock front.
Looks like they're going to just give him 2 for boarding, James.
We'll get confirmation from downstairs as we reset our clock to match. And off we go. It will be boarding. The signal never made it up here. I don't think a signal was even given by Johnny Patnaud. Rowan penalty assessed to number 5, Jarrett Stricken, 2 minutes for boarding. Time of the penalty, 14 minutes even. Stricken, 2 for boarding at 14 minutes. It's a Blue Hens power play. Moran tries to get things going. Long pass to LeBlanc. Delayed offside against Delaware. So says Johnny Casey. I'm not sure on this, Bob.
I don't like that call, James. If you miss it, you miss it. But what he did was, basically that was what I call a bench call. Rowan's bench pretty much called that penalty.
My question is, does the blue line, I should know this being an official, does the blue line extend up?
Yes.
So it is quite literally a plane that extends vertically.
It's a plane, yes.
I know in basketball that's not the case.
It is here, and the thing is I would have liked to see Devin LeBlanc just keep going at that defenseman. He wasn't sure if it was or not. If you don't hear the whistle, keep playing.
Keep playing for sure. Anyway, the Hens are able to reset and regroup. Martorella gave it up at the far boards. Taken away from him by Ramos. They collide. Get out of the way, Johnny. Johnny Casey's okay. He was right at the center of that near skirmish, but none the worse for wear. Half the boarding penalty assessed to Stricken is complete. Second wave of the power play led by Larry Hooper up the middle. Drop pass to the right half wall and Cal Raymore. Raymore works it back to Rodriguez at the near point. Back it comes to Raymore. Good puck motion near side. Hard shot from the outside edge of the right circle. Right into the left-handed glove of Kyle Rink, and that brings us a stoppage in the action with 4 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the first period, and the Rowan University Profs nursing this 1-0 lead so far over Delaware. Hooper swats the puck forward off the near circle draw. Pasley can't chase it down before Cohen at the near corner tried to carry it out of harm's way, but Martorella crossed to the far point right in front of the Rowan bench to protect the zone for Delaware. 22 seconds left in this attack. Pasley to Raymore near side. Up toward the point to Hooper. Pass right back was intercepted by Ryan Conlon and cleared. That's not one you want to give up, Bob.
Yeah, that's not a good one there.
Bad pass, bad time.
Yeah, real bad.
Hooper should keep that one and try to generate something else. He gave it right away.
And they're reading it pretty well, Rowan is. So.
Raymore racing through. Martorella steps up after the net front redirect was fanned on by Hooper. And here comes Chris Conlon on a breakaway. Shot from point blank range denied. It was actually wide of the Delaware net. Left point protected by Cohen. The penalty is over. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the opening period. Another point chance from Cohen. Conlon on the doorstep. That was Chris Conlon who tried to hack it down and bat the puck in, but it was knocked out of his control. And the Hens, 5-on-5, are having a heck of a time getting out of their zone so far tonight.
Boy, James, Chris Conlon's going to want to play Delaware like every week if he keeps. That's his second breakaway in one period. He scored on one, missed one. They don't want to give him 3 for a quarter, do you think?
Probably not.
Yeah, the way he picked that corner in the first one, you don't want to do that again. They've got to be more careful. But again, that was a choice by the defenseman. He's got a guy coming at him. He decides to take the slap shot. It doesn't get through, and it turns out to be Chris Conlon on a breakaway.
I'll tell you this, Bob. The Rowan second line is as dangerous, if not more so, than their first. They've got 6 very strong forwards at the top of their lineup. They may not be big, but they're certainly fast and they're certainly skilled. You
nailed it, James, because talking to the Rowan media people, they said their team's not big, but they're fast and they pass really well and move the puck really well as far as positionally.
And so far, they're outplaying Delaware at the Blue Hen Zone game.
Well, the media people for Rowan was spot on that, James.
No question about it. We're inside the final 3 minutes of the first period. Rowan with a 1-0 lead over Delaware. Pat Swain chips the puck in over the Rowan blue line along the near wall. It's cleared back out by Sam Ahern, recovered by Delaware's Devin LeBlanc. He throws one in from long range, right in front of the scorer's table, gloved down by Rink. He's forced to play on under no pressure, and Sam Ahern feeds the puck across ice to Krasner, on through the middle to Bobby Penrod, who looked shot from right at the Delaware blue line. Pulled right back, and the entry's a little bit smoother now for the Profs. Rucci pinned in the far corner, pressured by Martorella, gave the puck away. Now it's shoveled ahead by Low to Martorella, 2-on-1. Martorella's shot off the breadbasket of Rink, and he covers up. To minimize any rebound opportunities the Blue Hens might have been able to generate. With 2:03 to go, heads up goaltending from Kyle Rink, saying there is no second chance here, boys.
That was probably Delaware's best chance of the period, wouldn't you say, James?
It was a great opportunity, 2-on-1 with Lowe and Martorella. Martorella takes the shot. Rick squares him up immediately. The defenseman stayed with Ryan Lowe. The Rowan side couldn't have played that any better. And ultimately, they got the last word on the exchange.
Yes.
Moran double team far corner to LeBlanc behind the cage. LeBlanc absorbs a check back door. Back it comes to Moran. Net front, there it is! Ryan Lowe on the welcome mat puts one in, and we've got ourselves a tie game off that net front redirect. It is 1-1.
That was a big goal, James, because for most of the period it's been the speed of Rowan really making the difference, and their great passing, no doubt. I think what you'll see as this game goes on, Delaware will start adjusting to that speed by picking their speed up also. So, you watch them on that, they actually worked real tight down low, made some quick little plays. You don't have time with this Rowan team to sit back and look for the passes. You've got to get them off and move.
So it was Lowe getting his first of the season. The assists go to Moran and LeBlanc on the equalizer for Delaware, but just as quickly, Rowan ends up back on the offensive. Puck cleared out of a congested slot by Rodriguez, kept in at the right point by Froyo, and this one's caught by Odgers. He hangs on. A Delaware goal! His first of the season, scored by number 8, Ryan Lowe. Assisted by number 28, Shane Moran, and number 17, Devin LeBlanc. Time of the goal, 18:23. Lowe's first from Moran and LeBlanc at 18:23. And there's another one. Off the rebound, Dylan Pasley takes out the trash. How about that?
James, you can see now where, like I said, I think it's just a matter of time before Delaware made the adjustment speed-wise, and you can tell that their size is really maybe taking a little bit too Rowan now, because they just pushed that puck in. The other goal was scored because of a great face-off win by LeBlanc. This one was just pure force.
1 minute remaining in the period. 1 minute. Assists on that goal going to Sapia and Hooper, the second line, making it happen and getting Delaware the lead. A Delaware goal! His second of the season! Scored by number 15, Dylan Pasley. Assisted by number 5, Kyle Sapia, and number 6, Larry Hooper. Time of the goal, 18:59. Pasley's second from Sapia and Hooper at 18:59. We're inside the final minute of this first period, and a pair of rapid-fire goals from the Delaware side give them a 2-1 lead. We've got a 10-second differential in the clocks if you're joining us via Delaware Hockey Night TV. And the Hens are able to clear. It was Pasley who did so, launching the puck back into Rowan territory. Shoveled out now from just inside the blue line by Ramos. Advanced by Rucci over the center blue Hen logo. In deep behind the blue Hens cage. Out comes Hooper, or tries to. Instead, Moran will carry it on. He dipsy-doodles through defenders up the middle. Down to the last 12 seconds we go of this first period. Hens back with the advantage. Marciniak with a cannon from the right point. He's unable to connect there. Follow-up chance, Nauman at the far half wall. Time ticks away, and that will do it for the first period here in Newark. 20 minutes in the books. It's Delaware 2, Rowan 1. We'll be back with more on Delaware Hockey Night. Welcome back into Fred Rust Arena. 20 minutes in the books. And the Delaware Blue Hens men's Division II hockey team was able to bounce back in the last minute and a half of that first period to go from down 1-0 to up 2-1. James Witherite and Bob Thomas with you here. High atop the stands at Fred Rust Arena. Goals from Ryan Lowe, his first of the season, and Dylan Pasley, his second of the season, to put the Hens up. That's just heads-up play in the kitchen the whole time.
You know, it's funny, James, but Odger's good thing he was on his game, because that could have easily been, you know, a couple more goals for Rowan. But what I like to see was that, you know, the last 3 or 4 minutes, Delaware really put it together and started to play with a real press, like urgency. Like they're not playing like they're, as we used to say, play like your hair's on fire, and they weren't doing that through most of the period.
They were a little lackadaisical,
yeah,
in fact, especially in their own zone.
There's a reason why Rowan's 5-0. It's not because, you know, people are just giving them wins. They are a fast team, and they're on you quick, so you have to be even quicker and move the puck up the ice pretty fast, James.
And here we go in the second period. Rowan able to get the jump on the face-off. LeBlanc was beat by Rucci there. Puck dumped in behind the Delaware goal. Hens moving from right to left here in the second period of action, and it will be Dylan Knox, who's able to wedge his way through traffic, absorb the check from Rucci at the half wall, was able to work into neutral territory. Ultimately, Ramos regains the puck for the Profs. Gave it up in his own zone to LeBlanc. Couldn't punch one in net front after gaining territory from the left dot. Fired back in by Knox from the right point. Out come the Profs. Carried on by Penrod. Up the near boards to center. Dumped in under duress. Martorella regains near corner. Plays it behind his own goal. Fired out by Knox. Nobody home in the neutral zone to field that breakout pass. No icing here as Knox gets it back at his own blue line far side. It was waved off amid that battle. Launched back the other direction. Knox able to get to it. Meldrum puts the forechecking pressure on. Martorella lowers the hip. They're tied up around the puck. Sweeping in is Trevor Early to extract it from the pack for the Delaware Blue Hens, but he misses his man Matt Tofty on the headman pass up the far wall. So the Profs able to regain possession, but only for a fleeting moment, as Meldrum, under a stronger Delaware forecheck, plays it up out of his own, and it's volleyed right back in. Hens forced back to their own goal line. Here 100 seconds in to the second period as Rodriguez works it ahead to Early, flip to his left, and Raymore from the top of the left circle fires off a shot, but it's right into the breadbasket of Kyle Rink. He faced 16 shots in the first period. His counterpart 178 feet away, Steven Odgers, faced 14. So a lot of vulcanized rubber going into these chest protectors. Both goalies putting on a good show so far as Brass Bonanza is played by the stadium organist here at Fred Rust.
Delaware with a much better start in this period, and Mr. Moran's probably going to have nightmares tonight because Devin LeBlanc froze the goaltender with that great crossing pass, and he just fanned on it, wide open net.
That being said, Ryan Lowe was able to pick up the pieces, and that was then followed up by Pasley, and there's another one. Good movement through the slot. Who had that, Bob?
That looks like Marciniak, but I don't know if it was tipped or not, but it was his shot. What they weren't doing in the first period, they were doing, all right here, and it looks like it was Marciniak. It looked like it came in clean.
3 unanswered goals for Delaware. Much better, Bob. It's 3-1.
They're moving the puck, they're moving, and they're using their size much better. That's what you expect to see out of this Delaware team.
That would come at the 2:15 mark. A little bit of a conference going on right in front of the scorer's table. We'll see what happens as Mike McGee, John Patnod, Johnny Casey, and Owen Doan discuss what they saw. There was a lot of traffic in there. They had a front row seat to it. We're at the other blue line as the press box has been shifted to the right for this game.
I just don't know if it got tipped. I mean, but what I love about it, more importantly than whether he got it or not, was what he did when he did get the puck. Instead of, trying to wind it up and everything, he just took a really smart wrist shot, knowing the pressure was coming out on him and that he had a lot of bodies in front of the net. That's what you call hockey IQ right there. That was great play.
You know the situation. You know you don't have a whole lot of time. Snap the puck back in.
That's, I'm sure Coach Falkowski probably told these guys, look, we got to speed up. We've got to make quick, hard passes, get up the ice, get on them quick like they've been doing us through the whole first period. That, Marciniak wasted no time getting that puck off his stick. So I'm not sure. Again, if you and I are way out here and having trouble figuring out if we got tipped, or they're having trouble figuring out if the stripes are, then we don't stand much of a chance for where we are.
That is a good goal, as Mike McGee signals. Good goal. We'll get the particulars here from the off-ice officials momentarily. Was it tipped? Was it not? An action resumes with Delaware indeed up 3-1. Rodriguez works it up the left side, tipped by Hooper. In behind the Rowan goal, and I think he was just a step shy of center, so this is going to come back due to an icing. And that goal's going to go to Sapia on the net front tip. It was a confusing one, to say the least.
Very much.
Hens win the defensive zone draw. Pasley lost his footing. He was able to take a swing at the puck and get it over the blue line. And the re-entry from Rowan is illegal, called back offside.
Another big save.
Delaware goal! His fourth of the season. Scored by number 5, Kyle Sapia. Assisted by number 6, Larry Hooper. And number 2, Andrew Marciniak. Time of the goal, 2:15. Sapia's fourth from Hooper and Marciniak at 2:15. And a 1-0 deficit becomes now a 3-1 lead for this Delaware team, who got some fresh legs on. Another puck out of play. Or so we can best surmise.
It was.
I was looking away. I'm trying to take notes.
Well, you're doing 12 things, James. That's definitely understandable.
Since public address announcer Bill Williams is a 6 scratch tonight too, there's another duty on the docket for yours truly tonight. So keeping a lot of chainsaws in the air, Bob. Here's Labrossi on the way back in left side. Fielded a cross-ice pass just inside the Rowan blue line. Botched the shot attempt from the top of the left circle. Chases down the puck, but it's taken away from him by Rucci. Played back into neutral territory. Penrod faces resistance from Marciniak and was out-hustled back into the Delaware zone to recover the puck. Joette, former Valley Forge Minuteman, plays it up the middle, and Delaware's entry to the Rowan zone will be called back due to an offside with 3 minutes and 21 seconds elapsed here in the second period. And have things taken a much more favorable tenor for the Delaware Blue Hens, Bob?
Would you have liked to have been a fly on the wall in Delaware's locker room in between periods? Because whatever Coach Falkowski said, it's definitely working. It's like a different team. They're moving the puck. They're moving their feet. Much better tape-to-tape passes while they're on the fly. And they're hitting the seams, as Rowan was doing the whole first period.
But Rowan just as quickly back to the neutral zone, setting up a 2-on-2. Brendan Milliken's shot from the top of the right circle was blocked away. LeBlanc able to clear the zone. Puck recovered just over the Delaware blue line by Echeverria. Backhanded in behind again. But into the path of Tyler Swift. Stretch pass up the middle, finds Ryan Lowe. He tries to get around a defender. It was Sam Ahern who reached back. Mid-zone at the outside edge of the near circle and poke check the puck away. Lowe gets it back. Net front pass Moran. Easy shot from 10 feet. Waffle boarded up into the air by Kyle Rink. Puck contested now in the far corner. Back it goes to Moran below the cage. Centering pass Lowe. Tip to LeBlanc. Coming in, dropping to a knee to take the wrister from 12 feet away. But he couldn't quite get the angle he wanted. And this will be an icing against the Rowan Profs at the 4:12 mark of period number 2. Good momentum from the Hens here. Not quite A quality chances. but they're hitting their marks a lot better, and they're making Kyle Rink have to move from side to side.
It's the tale of two different games. I know it's still early in the second period, but if Delaware keeps this kind of pressure up, they should do very well by the end of this game.
Rowan's got their hands full right now as Tofty works the puck in up the right wing boards early, reaches for it, drop pass center point, a cannon from Swift right into the chest protector of Kyle Rink, and he hangs on.
It's, when you when you play the speed game and the other team's not, you're in their zone a lot. Well, the first period it was Delaware struggling to do that. This period, Delaware's all over Rowan right now. They're matching the speed, and they're using their size and strength a little bit more to their advantage now.
But just like that, Rowan's able to escape their own zone. Ryan Conlon up the left side was able to pick up the puck off the missed pass. Cross slot shot came from Luke Froyo. And after failing to protect the far point, Delaware gave one up.
I'm not sure if that one was tipped either, James. It was a nice shot. I don't know. Again, they may have to.
I know the shot from the right point came from Luke Froyo, and we've got something after the fact, too. I saw Mike McGee make a signal of some variety. Was it slashing or interference? I'm not sure. But the Rowan penalty box door is open. So quite a bit happening at the 4:45 mark.
Here's the thing, though, James. That slash had to come after the whistle, after the goal. Because if not, that should have been blown dead as soon as they touched the puck.
Absolutely.
But
so
I'm not sure what the call is.
It feels like it was goal then penalty.
There we go then. That makes sense, James, because otherwise it wouldn't have happened.
And indeed it was Strickon in for the slash at 4:45. His second foul of the game. And the Hens are back on the power play to try to get a goal back after giving that one up to Froyo from Chris Conlon. Marciniak behind his own cage, leaves the puck for the accelerating Devin LeBlanc. Here he comes up the middle. He's got speed, hacked at by Ramos and Rucci. He stops just shy of the goal line right side. Back to Marciniak across top of the left circle, Moran. Work back to Marciniak, a slapper from up high. Ramos blocked that, but he took some vulcanized rubber where he didn't want to. He's favoring that right ankle pretty badly, in fact, but he stays on. Marciniak flips it back to the near corner. And Moran, back it comes to LeBlanc at the right corner. And that's officially a bench minor that's being served by Alex Ahern, number 15. Looked like it was stricken from here on a slash, but indeed it was a bench minor as relayed to us here in the press box. Rowan goal scored by number 26, Luke Froyo, assisted by number 21, Chris Conlon. Time of the goal, 4:45. Immediately following the goal, Rowan penalty is assessed to the bench for unsporting conduct. At 4:45, it will be served by number 15, Alex Ahern. So Rowan assessed a bench minor for unsporting conduct at 4:45 after scoring their goal. So we're down to the last 15 seconds of this Delaware power play, and my oh my, Bob, have they struggled.
Yeah, James, it's funny because they had all the momentum until that goal, and it's crazy because it's sort of like the other period. Rowan kind of dominated a lot of the period, and they come out of the period down by a couple goals. And now, you've got this period
and now
going.
The Profs are out of their zone again. Milliken was able to swat the puck off his backhand near side, chased down by Echeverria, who came right on as Ahern scurried back to the bench. His shot from the near from the near half wall was turned aside by Odgers. Up the middle came Pasley, crossing to the right dot for Delaware to Raymore, shoveled in from net front by Hooper, but he missed the cage. Battle for the biscuit develops at the near half wall. Martorella couldn't keep it in. It's taken away by Milliken on his horse. Rodriguez couldn't quite win the battle. And the foot race to the goal line, but he's able to come away with the puck. The Floridian backhands it as far as center red. Recovered by Rowan's Jared Cohen. Rifled back in. Steadied by Martorella at his own stripe as we near the 8-minute mark of the second period at Fred Rust Arena. Delaware with a 3-2 lead over the Rowan Profs. Long shot from Bobby Labrossi above the left point. Stick saved by Rink. Chased down near corner. Labrossi gets the rebound to Patrick Swain, the former St. Mark's Spartan. Through the legs of Nauman. Chased down by Same. He took a tumble in front of his own bench. Swift shot left point. Denied by the stick of Rink. Subsequently cleared out by Cohen for Rowan. Advanced to Penrod, but that pass was broken up by Nauman, hustling on the back check to the Delaware blue line to not intercept, but at least interrupt the progress of the Rowan side. Good hustle by another Silesian gentleman in Mike Nauman.
Smart play to see that developing.
And we're going to see a reduction in manpower for the Delaware side as Pat Swain is ruled off for roughing at 8 minutes and 35 seconds completion of this second period.
Did you just catch that? Mr. Nauman skated up to Rowan's bench with a stick, and I didn't know what he was doing. I thought he was being a nice guy, but what it was, when they got tangled up, I believe it was Conlon, they ended up with each other's stick. So Nauman not only made a nice play, but he did it with somebody else's stick.
How about that? Delaware penalty assessed to number 25 Patrick Swain, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty 8:35. Swain 2 for roughing at 8:35. I think we had an errant icing there. Johnny Casey blew it dead, not realizing that the manpower was not even.
That's exactly what happened.
They restart at center, and Rowan is on the attack. Ramos mishandled the puck in the left corner, was able to chase it down before Martorella could. Worked around to the right point. Hard shot from Cohen there. Turned aside by the paddle of Odgers, but kept in Rowan control by Rucci. Off the pipe, where is it? Odgers couldn't cover it up. No, it's not shoveled in on the doorstep by Ryan Conlon either. A lucky break there for a scrambling Steven Odgers, and the Hens clear.
I have no idea how that puck did not go in.
Neither did I. Conlon had all the space in the world at the left half of the cage. Another shot from the top of the right circle. Penrod blocked down by Knox as soon as he released. Penrod able to get the puck back. Hacked out at the near half wall by Tofty. Worked into Ramos at the near corner, absorbing a check from Knox. Back out it comes. Center point, Cohen. Sapia steps up to challenge him. Tofty, Rodriguez, Knox, the other three penalty killers for Delaware. And here comes Kyle Sapia up the right side. Shot from the right dot. Deflected up into the netting and out of play as we reach the halfway point of the second period, and Delaware with a 3-2 lead over Rowan will have to outlast another 37 seconds of this Patrick Swain roughing minor before coming back to full strength. To their benefit, though, an attacking zone faceoff, and it was won by Sapia, kicked back to Marciniak, but that opportunity broken up. Here comes Chris Conlon the other way. Not quite on a breakaway, but he had the upper hand in the one-on-one. But Steven Odgers had the upper hand on the point-blank save, covering up the puck with 9:52 to go here in period number 2. Odgers playing great.
He really is. But that's one that Marciniak's got to get through, or at least put it down the boards. You're shorthanded. You don't want to push through, try to push it through people on that point play.
Sam Ahern steps up to the top of the right circle. He was fed the puck from the left point by Penrod. The first shot didn't go in, but the Profs were on the prowl net front, and they come away with a power play goal off the rebound.
Penrod with a heck of a shot. There's not much that Odgers could have done on that shot. He picked that top corner And again, you're up 3-1. You don't want anything to change that momentum, but a couple breakdowns and then a penalty, and now you have a 3-3 game. When for the first 7 minutes of that period, you're pretty much owning it.
And now 2 unanswered goals, the last one on a power play. And Rowan's tied this one back up. It was Penrod who followed his own shot and punched in his own rebound.
Great play. There it was.
And Delaware just as quickly, 19 more seconds, gets it back.
James, that was all Nauman. I know, Nauman is sort of that 5th or 6th guy, but tonight he's playing a great game. And what he did, he came in, read the play, pinched off the board, stole the puck, carried it in, made the play in front of the net, and bam, there they are, up 4-3. And that was a great play. Great follow-up, too, on the shot.
We've got a lot of bookkeeping to take care of here.
I believe that was Lowe, right, James, that got that?
I'm not sure, honestly, because I was looking in the notes for the previous goal. Rowan goal scored by number 14, Bobby Penrod, assisted by number 25, Ryan Conlon, and number 12, Sam Ahern. Time of the power play goal, 10 minutes, 20 seconds. Penrod from Ryan Conlon and Sam Ahern. At 10:20, it was a power play goal. We await the Delaware goal. It was Moran from Nauman. So Shane Moran was able to finish the job that Mike Nauman started to put Delaware back in front, albeit a tenuous 4-3 lead.
Very, but that's a huge goal, James. To get that, you want
to
that
get
to
the
swing
momentum back in your favor anyway. Hard shot from the left point on the Rowan side, missed the cage by a couple feet, rang off the boards, thrown back in by Stricken at the near point before it escaped the Delaware blue line. Batted down by Nauman. He punches it through the legs of Cohen. Right through the wickets that one goes. And Cohen's left chasing. A Delaware goal! His 5th of the season. Scored by number 28, Shane Moran. Assisted by number 32, Mike Nauman. Time of the goal, 10:39. Moran's 5th from Nauman at 10:39. And Rink was absolutely dejected after he gave that one up.
James, it's great to see, Delaware bounce right back, and you can see the difference of getting that 4th goal, how they've picked their game back up again.
But the passes are still not where we'd like them to be.
No.
They're still a little bit sloppy, a little bit maybe more rushed than they should be. They need to be fast, but they need to be on their target. Delayed penalty. It is a hook signaled by Mike McGee. Rowan with possession and control at the time. And if you're going to slam the door like that, Chris Conlon, you may as well sit for 4.
Or at least get it to close the first, second, or third
I
time.
know, right?
I think he's on attempt number 4 or 5 now. Maybe 5.
I got it.
There it is. Nothing worse than that, James, when you want to show everybody how mad you are and then miss about 4 times with the door shutting.
And the worst thing of it for him, offensive zone penalty.
Exactly.
Rowan penalty assessed to number 21, Chris Conlon, 2 minutes for hooking. Time of the penalty, 12:28. Chris Conlon, 2 for hooking at 12:28. It's a Blue Heads power play! And a flurry of action right in front of the Rowan goal. Raymore on the doorstep, so too Hooper. Neither of them were able to punch the puck in past Kyle Rink. And the faceoff comes out to his right with 7:14 to go in the second period. Larry Hooper to Rodriguez from right point. Couldn't connect off the rebound. Marty with the party! Eddie Martorella gives Delaware 1 for the thumb.
That was great. But what was really great about that, James, was Adrian Rodriguez really blistered that shot, and it was
yes,
no
he
way
did.
of controlling that rebound. But what I loved before, and his teammates are going to give him a hard time, especially if they watch this video, he takes the shot right before it, and it kind of flubs. It kind of, knuckleballed a little bit. And any good hockey player, any smart hockey player knows that after a shot like that, when there's a stoppage, lean on your stick to make sure that there's nothing wrong, or let everybody know it wasn't you. It was the stick.
It was the stick.
And that same stick just ripped one that was that had to be in the 90s, upper 80s. So that
was getting close to Al McInnes territory.
That thing was humming, but obviously it wasn't the stick. So
you know what, Bob? It's 5-3 Delaware.
It's 5-3 Delaware, and that's what it counts. And the momentum is back.
Hooper gets the other assist on that one. A Delaware goal! His 4th of the season, scored by number 24, Eddie Martorella. Assisted by number 6, Larry Hooper, and number 4, Adrian Rodriguez. Time of the power play goal, 12:55. Martorella's 4th. From Hooper and Rodriguez, a power play goal at 12:55. And to think it all came from an offensive zone penalty. Shot from up high, Penrod in a one-on-one. Couldn't get a good line. He was challenged center point, so he missed his line altogether. Scrap for the rebound, thrown in by Penrod net front, but Odgers gets the better of him this time around. 6:07 to go here in the second period. And the Hens will have to defend against a face-off in their own zone.
Well, James, those offensive zone penalties, the coaches from Rowan will all have to go visit the hair club for men, because that's the kind that makes you pull your hair out, especially when you're right in the ball game, and now you're finding yourself down by 2. It's again, hockey IQ is not just, hey, this is the seam, this is where I should be. It's also being smart, like not taking an offensive penalty. If you absolutely...
you must, but...
Sometimes it just happens. Your stick gets caught up, but really, truly, hard work really stops a lot.
Sappy in a 2-on-1 with Hooper, thrown net front. Rink was able to boot it away to the far side. Good heads-up play at the Delaware blue line to make that happen. And then just good hustle up the middle from Hooper and Saps to get the territorial advantage, but right back they come into their own zone. Puck centered by Milik into Echeverria. He couldn't handle it from the high slot 30 feet away from the Delaware cage. Sappius surrounded by brown sweaters at the near half wall. Shovels it ahead to Hooper. He lofts it up in the air. Jared Cohen tried to bat it down just beyond the center red line. Chased the puck down ultimately into his zone. And this will be an icing against the Rowan Profs with 5 minutes and 11 seconds to go here in the second period. For those of you who also follow the University of Delaware women's hockey team, that game will be picked up in progress on Delaware Hockey Night Radio immediately following the conclusion of this contest. The ladies, who beat Pitt for their first win of the season last weekend, are hosting the California University of Pennsylvania Vulcans, who play at the old Ross Draver Ice Garden. You remember that building?
Boy, that's going back a few years.
Just southeast of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's one of those places, Bob, where you feel weird having a cell phone because the place just oozes with nostalgia from every corner. But anyway, the Vulcans are in town, and we'll pick up that game in progress as soon as this one has reached its conclusion. DEHockeyNight.com to find DHN Radio, and it'll all be there. Scrap for the puck right in front of the Rowan cage, controlled by Delaware. Pat Swain couldn't work it in close. Krasner put the heat on him, and Rowan's able to clear as far as the Blue Hens line. Knox works it back the other way, batted down by Ryan Conlon at his own stripe. Owen Doan had to duck to get out of the way of the puck. Back it comes to Ryan Conlon. Shot from the top of the right circle, rings off the glass behind the Delaware cage. It's batted to the near side. Conlon finishes the check on Joette, who bounces right back up on his feet. Labrossi tied up. The puck at the near half wall alongside Meldrum. Martorella tried to extract it. Chris Conlon follows his shot, gets his own rebound, and it is now 5-4. Rowan gets one back. and Conlon gets his second of the night.
There's something to be said about making the safe play on that. That's just, you're trying extra hard to make that really good pass, and sometimes it's just, you got to look what's in front of you there. There was where Rowan picked it off, and basically
Delaware gave up the middle.
Yeah, well, they made a bad pass to try to go through the middle with the puck, as opposed to you're up by 2 goals, nothing's clearly open, take the glass, get it out of the zone. I know it sometimes seems kind of like pee-wee hockey-ish, but it's smart hockey,
It's smart
James?
hockey. It's par golf, not birdie golf. Here's Lowe, shot from the left dot up into the netting. And we're waiting on word on the assists on Chris Conlon's second goal of the night from the off-ice officials. We'll get that momentarily, but Delaware was able to regain attacking position. LeBlanc wins the offensive zone face-off near side, plays the puck to Lowe at the half wall. It comes back to Lowe from Moran net front. And Delaware is quick to counter and make it 6-4. Was it LeBlanc, I think?
Great forecheck, right, James? And then Moran did a great job, or was that Lowe? I'm sorry, Lowe. Lowe in the mid slot there, instead of trying to turn around like I see a lot of young players doing, takes it, it's on his backhand, he just shovels it to the net. Now whether it was him that got it or if it was LeBlanc, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, that was a really smart play, because a lot of guys would want to turn to get the puck on their forehand. Smart play by Lowe. And a great forecheck.
And it's 6-4 Delaware.
Yes, that was a big goal again to get that momentum back again, James.
This period has been all about momentum, and there have been a lot of shifts in it. It's more back and forth than table tennis.
It's like a seesaw.
I know.
So.
Rowan goal scored by number 27, Matthew Meldrum. Assisted by number 5, Jarrett Stricken, and number 2, Jared Cohen. Time of the goal, 16:01. It was Meldrum from Stricken and Cohen at 16:01 for Rowan. A Delaware goal! His 7th of the season! Scored by number 17, Devin LeBlanc! Assisted by number 8, Ryan Lowe, and number 28, Shane Moran. Time of the goal, was 16:40. LeBlanc from Lowe and Moran at 16:40. I think it was 16:40 anyway. It was roundabout there. And we've got a man down at another stoppage due to a penalty, as linesmen John Casey and Owen Doan are forced to intervene, and as Sam Ahern makes his way to the penalty box for what we'll see. Waiting for the signal on this penalty. It's going to be interference at 17-17.
That was pretty far behind the play, James, so I didn't see exactly what happened on that. I know it was LeBlanc that was taken down. And again, there's something to be said by a hard forecheck. It frustrates teams.
Absolutely, and that's a penalty you just don't want to take. Rowan penalty assessed to number 12, Sam Ahern. 2 minutes for interference. Time of the penalty, 17-17. Ahern, 2 for interference at 17-17. It's a Blue Hens power play. Second unit on right now. A-Rod crosses to the right point, protects with his backhand. To Raymore at the far half wall. Ramos steps up to challenge him. Back to Rodriguez. Raymore steps up to the right dot. Takes a shot. But reaching up with the left-handed glove, Kyle Rink makes the save. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the second period. A back and forth second period it's been. And Delaware with a prime opportunity here to pad a 6-4 lead as Eddie Martorella is put on the chase by Trevor Rucci. They battle at the near half wall. Back to Hooper it comes. And a slash is called by Mike McGee. The guilty party, Eddie Martorella. We're 4-on-4.
And James, what zone was that in again?
The offensive zone.
There goes a few more hairs out of Coach Falkowski's head.
A few more out of yours, too.
Well, he's got a lot more to spare than I do. I can't lose many more. It's going to be a cold, cold winter, James.
I got both you beat put together, so there's that. So all that attacking zone momentum evaporates before our very eyes. Race on for the puck as Marciniak fires it along the far boards. Pasley is able to get there, but he's tied up behind the cage by Cohen. Delaware penalty assessed to number 24, Eddie Martorella. 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalty, 17:55. Martorella 2 for slashing at 17:55. Rodriguez tried to launch one in from the top of the left circle, but his shot was blocked 10 feet after he got rid of it. He's forced back in his own zone under forechecking pressure from Ryan Conlon. He connects with Raymore over the center logo. In comes Raymore on a 2-on-2 alongside Trevor Early. Rodriguez protects the left point, takes a shove into the near boards from Ryan Conlon. He dumps it in behind, chases the puck below the cage, but Jared Cohen gets to it a half step quicker and punches it out along the near wall. Here comes Ryan Conlon again. 1 minute remaining in the period. 1 minute. Offside against the Rowan Profs as Krasner bobbled the puck. There was a really good scoring chance for Rowan net front with Conlon feeding the puck to Penrod, but he just fanned on it right on the doorstep.
Well, the other thing, too, was great back check by Early, because Early really put the heat on him so he didn't get it free. Because if he didn't come back as hard, that's a dinky dunk. Now you have a 6-5 game. But or as they used to say, a yayer. But that was a great play by Early to come back as hard as he did, James.
9 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. LeBlanc carries the puck up the right wing boards back into Rowan territory, but into a 2-on-3. LeBlanc trying to generate some space. Krasner lost his stick, trying to poke check the puck away. Moran keeps the momentum going in the left corner, but he gives it up to Rucci. Throwing the length of the ice, race on for it. Swift out hustle to the biscuit by Sam Ahern. Through the slot, he fires the puck from the left dot off the near boards. Rucci recovers. Asking for it up high was Sam Ahern. His one-timer from 45 feet is trapped by Odgers, and that brings us a stop in the action with 21 seconds to go in the second period. 16 seconds on the Martorella minor for slashing, and Delaware clinging to a 6-4 lead. Face off at the far side, won by LeBlanc. Nearly cleared out by Nauman, but given up. Launched in by Ryan Conlon from the left point.
Offensive zone penalties, James, and it's 6-5 now.
It's 6-5.
You know, it's really important for young players to learn that goals are often scored starting from the other end of the ice, or actions that were taken from the other end of the ice. It's not just from the blue line in. There was a situation there where that ended up being a power play just for a few seconds, but that's all it takes sometimes.
That's all you need, and Ryan Conlon just like brother Chris, able to find the back of the net. 2-on-2 for Rowan on the re-entry. Puck is loose in front. Lowe tries to corral it, and he's saved by the buzzer amid that subsequent Rowan attack through 40 minutes. It's 6-5, Delaware still with the lead, but my goodness, are the Rowan Profs keeping things awfully tight.
It's like watching the movie Jaws. Every time Delaware thinks they got a safe lead, Rowan comes right back at it, and here we go again. It's going to be a really interesting third period, James.
Certainly will. We'll take a break on Delaware Hockey Night. When we come back, more of Rowan and Delaware from Fred Rust Arena. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back into Fred Rust Arena. We're through 40 minutes of action. The University of Delaware Blue Hens and the Rowan Profs have been going back and forth in a ding-dong battle. Delaware extends the lead to 2. Rowan gets one back. Delaware extends the lead to 2. Rowan gets one back. And with 14 seconds to go in the second period, the Rowan getting one back was Chris Conlon finishing a hat trick on a power play goal with that net front redirect of the cannon from brother Ryan from the left point to make it a 6-5 game advantage, still, albeit narrowly, Delaware.
James, those last 2 goals for Rowan just were self-inflicted wounds by Delaware. An ill-advised crossing pass out of the corner, off the defensive zone corner, trying to feed it through, and then an offensive zone penalty
for no reason.
And that made the difference in that period where they could have gone into the locker room maybe up 6-3. It's now 6-5, James.
We're off of the second period. The third period, I apologize, I can't count. First, second.
You got a 33% chance of being right, James.
That's not good enough for me, Bob. Cross ice, stretch pass from Ryan Lowe to Moran. Bounces off his stick into the near corner. Played out by Stricken for Rowan. Advanced by Ramos to Penrod. Looked a long shot at the top of the right circle. Pulled it back, though, and floated one in. It's kicked out to the left point. Stricken with a cannon. Misses the cage by a good 8 inches. And the rebound draws Jared Cohen back to center ice before he dumps it in. And the Rowan Profs down a goal. Change up the legs. Get some fresh players on. And it will be Sam Ahern challenged by Trevor Early deep in Profs territory. Unable to break through. Tofty protects the left point. He tried to feed it in to a net front Cal Raymore. Couldn't do so. Here's a 2-on-1 the other direction for Rowan. Chris Conlon drop pass to Ryan, top of the left circle. Odgers able to get enough of that to turn the action to the near side. Here's Tofty racing out of his zone up the left wing boards. Right wing boards. Now left wing boards as he crosses through the slot. He flips the puck to the near corner. Out it comes to Marciniak at the point. Swatted in by Tofty, checked up in the air by the stick of Jared Krasner. Tofty gets it back, tries to float the puck back to Marciniak at the near point, but it was taken away by Chris Conlon. He's got 3 on the night so far for the Rowan Profs. He tried to sail through the slot, got tripped up by Raymore. Conlon still down. Puck thrown in from the right half wall by the backhand of Stricken while absorbing a check right in front of the Delaware bench. Tofty gets one away from his own blue line. And it's recovered by Ahern behind the Rowan goal. Stretch pass batted on by Conlon, but under duress he couldn't maintain control of the puck. Swift could not clear. Castorina kept the puck in the Delaware zone for the Rowan side. Sapia was able to chase it down in the far corner. He plays the carom shot to Hooper, cross ice, back to Sapia. Lofted in along with Dylan Paisley chasing it down. It's a long A, we confirmed, during the second intermission. We try to get it right, and we're glad to be able to do so, as John Patnod signals a hook at the 2:41 mark of the third period. And it looks like it's going to be against Larry Hooper of Delaware.
You know, James, that it got a little chippy after that big hit by Raymore on Conlon. But I'll tell you, Conlon's a big kid. But he's a big target too. So if he's going to come across the middle like that, you know, and he's already got 3 goals, Raymore played him exactly the way you need to play a guy like that all night long. Make him have to think twice before he comes waltzing through the middle like that.
You've got to make him pay for it.
Oh yeah,
Jared
and he
Cohen
did.
tried to fire one in from up high, off the pads of Odgers. Puck is loose in front, batted down out of the air by Martorella, and on out of the zone. Delaware penalty assessed to number 6, Larry Hooper. 2 minutes for hooking. Time of the penalty, 2:41. Hooper 2 for hooking at 2:41. In comes Ryan Conlon, angled outside the left dot by Ryan Lowe of Delaware. On this penalty kill along with Knox Martorella and Cal Raymore clogging up the slot. Race on for the puck as it was mishandled by Ramos in the Rowan end. 2-on-2 developing for Delaware here at the 3.5-minute mark of the third period. But that opportunity disintegrated, and Ryan Conlon was able to carry the vulcanized rubber 2/3 the length of the ice before taking a shot from the top of the right circle. But where does it end up? Right into the glove hand of Stephen Odgers.
In the mitt.
He faced 31 shots in the first 40 minutes. He saved 26 of them. 34 shots went the other way on Kyle Rink, who stopped 28 of those during the first 2 periods of action. So the goalie is getting a heck of a workout here tonight.
I see Chris Conlon's back out, jamming the front of the net on this power play, James.
Marciniak's trying to lay his shoulder into him to keep him off his line. And Sapia put the pressure on Ahern up ahead to force action back into the Rowan zone. Couldn't quite generate a turnover, but at least he was able to kill some time off this power play for the Profs. Circling in behind is Rucci. He comes out to the right corner, leaves it to Penrod, back to Rucci. At the outside edge of the right circle, Penrod center point. And off the stick of Ryan Conlon, he bobbled it in the near corner. Retraced his steps, kicked it back to Sam Ahern. Long shot from the point, rings off the backboards, and Delaware is able to shake free. Here's Raymore in a 2-on-1 with Sapia, but trailing the play. Chris Conlon was able to intercept that cross-ice pass, and he brings it back the other direction. Penalties expired. Chris Conlon to Ryan, and there's the equalizer.
I'll tell you what, Chris Conlon is a heck of a hockey player. He's been a big part of their offense. That's at least 3 goals and an assist that I know of, but that's where you have to
That's
play
the second
him.
assist, too.
You have to play the body on him. He's got 5 points tonight, and now it's a little late to do that because it's 6-6. But, I mean, you know, like I said, Raymore's play was a good, clean play, but you have to make sure that he's just not freewheeling out there, especially with that long reach. You can't play him like a puck.
He had way too much space.
You got to play the body on him, and you've got to stay tight on him. He's been like 5 points, right, James? Out of their 6 goals, he's been in
3 goals, 2 assists.
Factor in 5 of the 6 goals.
And then his brother Ryan, 3 assists, and this his first goal of the night. So the brothers Conlon team up on the equalizer for the Profs. And it's now once again a tie hockey game. It is 6-6. Rowan goal scored by number 25 Ryan Conlon, assisted by number 21 Chris Conlon. Time of the goal, 4:50. Ryan Conlon from Chris Conlon at 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
James, it's good to see Delaware come right back after that goal. It's like an energy line. Every time they're scored on, this LeBlanc line comes out and puts the pressure right back on.
But they're going to have to hold up because there were 2 men of 4 for Delaware. LeBlanc put on the brakes, but joining him at the blue line of Rowan were a pair of Prof defenders. So that opportunity failed to materialize. Swift and Echeverria collide well off the play. Back in the other direction comes Cohen. He gets to center red, stops just beyond that mark, and launches the puck in behind the Delaware goal. 14 minutes to go in regulation. Blue Hens 6, Prof 6. In a Mid-Atlantic Collegiate Hockey Conference rivalry matchup. Up the middle, Labrossi couldn't work through. He was stonewalled at the Rowan blue line by C.J. Castorina. Here comes Moran. Shot from the top of the right circle. Batted up into the protective netting by the waffle board of Kyle Rink. And at the 6:19 mark of the third period, we will see a shift in manpower.
Looks like a high stick against Rowan.
It will be C.J. Castorina who goes for same. Delaware needs this power play, to say the absolute least. Needs. Paisley, Raymore, Hooper on up front. Martorella, Rodriguez holding down the blue line. And Rodriguez is sent chasing for the puck deep in his own zone under forechecking pressure from Rucci. Now Rodriguez generates space, flips it to his right, and Cal Raymore bulldozes his way over the Rowan blue line, but lost the puck mid-zone to Sam Ahern, who lofts it over his head and back to the Delaware goal line. Rowan penalty assessed to number 29, C.J. Castorina. 2 minutes for high sticking. Time of the penalty, 6:19. Castorina 2 for high sticking at 6:19. It's a Blue Hens power play. Cal Raymore re-entered the Rowan zone, was taken down behind their cage by Sam Ahern. Puck ends up with a far corner. Alex Ahern kicks it back to Sam. He winds up from behind his own goal, lofts the puck over the head of Adrian Rodriguez, and Odgers steadies behind his own net. Half the penalty to Conlon is complete. 7.5 minutes have gone by in the third period of what is now a tie game, thanks to the brothers Conlon at the 4:50 mark. Ryan from Chris completing off a centering pass. Moran enters up the left side. Trying to clear was Milliken, protecting the left point for Delaware. Eddie Martorella kept it in. Walks it into the slot, centering pass to Sapia was broken up. Loose puck taken away by Sam Ahern in a one-on-one the other direction. And Rowan has taken the lead. Beat Rodriguez on a one-on-one, found the angle, found the net. You hate to give that up.
Yeah, very much, because that's just a good old one-on-one type of play, James, and he had so much speed that Rodriguez had to respect that, but it was a heck of a shot. It's a tough one to give up. And
the thing is, from my perspective, Bob, is Sam Ahern came straight in up the middle, and Rodriguez stayed straight in up the middle. And I mean, I don't know how much can you angle a guy in a one-on-one.
On that, you have to try to pick a shoulder, take away his forehand.
Take away his strong side.
Yeah, take away that forehand as best you can. But also, if there's anything that with Dodgers tonight, probably 4 of their 7 goals or so have been up in the top shelf. That's where you might want the goalie to stay on his edges a little bit longer, but that's hard to do. That's something that you're taught from a young age, is to stay, go down. But these guys are looking at the top shelf, James, and that's where they're putting it. But that's a tough one, because it's tough on a one-on-one. That's just can't happen there.
I mean, I'd like to see Rodriguez angle a little bit more aggressively on that.
And also,
but like you said, there's only so much you can do.
Well, the other thing, not anything to take away from from Ahern that scored, but that's a type of play, James, that he just outskated all the DOD forwards.
No question.
He blew right out of that zone and was not even. So again, you have to look at 100 and some feet away from where that actually happened.
Like you said before, goals start in the other zone.
Often, James, they really do.
Rowan goal scored by number 12, Sam Ahern, an unassisted shorthanded goal at 8 minutes. Sam Ahern, unassisted, a shorthanded goal at 8 minutes. So the Hens right back where they were at the 65-second mark of the first period. All that momentum in the second and the early part of the third. And right now, not much to show for it. But they will get an attacking zone face-off from the icing with 10 minutes and 11 seconds to go in regulation.
It's tough because, again, it's these little things. There's that old saying, take care of the little things and the big things will take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Delaware's got to do. I'm sure they can get this goal back and get another one or two on top of that. They just got to get back to what they were doing that works.
But giving up 2 unanswered goals to start the third period.
There's how you play that, that Conlon kid. Nice play by Nauman on the 1-on-1.
Absolutely. Nearly a chance on the doorstep from the other Conlon kid, Ryan, but he couldn't get a good angle on the rush shot. Nauman fields the puck, mid-slot his own side, tries to play it up ahead to Cal Raymore, overshot his man in traffic. It comes back the other way, corralled by Chris Conlon. Martorella tries to angle him off his intended line. He's forced to the backhand. And Odgers makes the stop with 9.5 minutes to go in regulation.
Tell you, Conlon's a tough one to contain. Big, tall guy with great stride, but he has the hands to match his feet. And when you give him the opportunity to get that shot off, he's been picking some of those top corners, James, like it's nothing for him, and that's not to take anything away from Odgers. He's playing great in those, but again, sometimes if that's where that guy's strength is, you got to take that away from him and maybe stay up and not let him see those corners so easy. But Delaware's got to pick the pace up now. They've got 9:33 to make up that that goal and get one more.
And it's going to be all the harder because they're going to have to do it. 2 men down for the next 2 minutes. Early for hooking, and Raymore off for slashing. The 3 on for the PK are Martorella, Tofty, and Knox. Delaware penalties. Number 23, Trevor Early, 2 minutes for hooking. Number 16, Cal Raymore, 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalties, 10:27. Early hooking, Raymore slashing, both at 10:27. Good puck movement up the right side. Rucci, high. Across to the left circle, top thereof. Cohen with a one-timer into a congested slot. Couldn't put one past. Martorella cannot clear the zone. Follow-up chance from Trevor Rucci from 45 feet. Caught and held on to by Odgers. He brings us a stoppage with 8:34 to go in regulation.
Great job with the 3 killers and Odgers, because this team, like I said, with Rowan, they are a dog. They are always on the puck, but the 3 guys out there did a heck of a job. And then Odgers, like you said, on a kill like this, your best player has to be your goaltender, and he was on that.
There's a one-timer from the top of the right circle. Rucci with the cross-slot pass from Sam Ahern, but he missed his target by a country mile and then some. Nick Ramos, near corner, back to Sam Ahern up high. He's got the go-ahead. Threw it into the slot. Ryan Conlon mishandled it. Puck is batted loose. Ryan Lowe lumbers after it, lost his shot lane, but he was able to get to the biscuit in the near corner. He's double-teamed there, 26 seconds to go in Rowan's 2-man advantage. Extracting the puck from the pack was Nick Ramos. Flipped off his backhand across his own blue line to Rucci, who storms back into Delaware territory, sets up shop at the far half wall. Good cross-slot pass to Ryan Conlon. Centered, nobody there. Lowe was able to block it down. Marciniak could not clear successfully. He instead threw the puck up into the netting and out of play. 6 seconds left on Rowan's 2-man advantage. 7:39 left in regulation. And the face-off will be to the right of Stephen Odgers.
James, Delaware just has to get through these next 6 seconds, and that's a really great kill that keeps them in this ball game.
Or puck game, as it were.
Or puck game.
Another puck into the netting from Marciniak. But we are back to 5-on-5. Good job by the PK as the crowd here at Fred Rust Arena expresses their appreciation
that could
for
be a
the
game
hard
changer.
work from that trio.
Yep, that could be definitely a game changer, James. I mean, you know, you're down 5-on-3 for a full 2 minutes, and you get out of there unscathed. Well, I shouldn't say unscathed because you just lost 2 minutes of offensive chances. So let's see if they can get that momentum back and get this thing tied up now.
But they were able to keep it a 1-goal game, so there's that.
Yes.
Paisley off his backhand in front of the scorer's table, flips the puck into the Rowan zone, chases it down after Sapia absorbs the check. Thrown in by Hooper. In close to Sapia. He couldn't connect on the doorstep. He was surrounded by a sea of brown sweaters. Puck is cleared out by Milliken. Chopped down by Chris Conlon beyond center, so there's no icing as Green turns the momentum the other way. Fired on by Hooper up the far boards, and we've got a puck out of play with 6:56 to go here in regulation. Rowan up 7-6 over Delaware. If you're joining us on Delaware Hockey Night Radio, waiting for the women's game against California University of Pennsylvania, we'll pick up coverage of that in progress. As soon as this game reaches its conclusion, that coverage will be available on Delaware Hockey Night Radio. For more information, head to dehockeynight.com, and the DHN radio player is there on the homepage for you as well. 6:44 to go. Rowan 7, Delaware 6. Delaware twice led by 2. Sapia hit the post on his chance up the left side to maybe get the equalizer. Follow-up opportunity ends up in the glove of Kyle Rink with 6.5 remaining.
James, they really, at this point, no reason to, pinch way in on it or anything. There's still 6.5 left. But Delaware definitely has to up that aggressiveness, that desire to get to every loose puck. Yeah, they've got to win all these one-on-one battles.
They feel like after the PK especially, they've been out at 80% speed.
Yeah, I mean, even on that scoring attempt, it was sort of like not full speed and drive the net. I mean, go right at the net. Make them have to stop you.
Here's a 2-on-2. Raymore tried to flip it back to Tofty. Got a little too cute there, I think. Knox was able to protect the right point, but the defense of Rowan had ample time to get back into position and foil any further progress. Early, under duress, works the puck ahead to Tofty. Across the neutral zone, Cal Raymore makes contact with the puck but fails to maintain control of it. And weaving through traffic, Ryan Conlon regains the Delaware line. Lost the puck to Early. Tofty ends up in a 1-on-2 as the Hens get in a partial line change with 5.5 minutes to go in regulation. Sam Ahern plays the body on Raymore in the far corner. Takes the puck away from him. It's batted loose by Castorina. Advanced cross ice now to Chris Conlon. He's looking for his 4th on the day after a hat trick and after the assist on the game-tying goal to brother Ryan. Marciniak throws one in from 45 feet out, right side. He was wide of his target. Moran on the doorstep. Where is it? John Patton odd rules that Kyle Rink had the last word on that loose puck. It was a great chance for the equalizer, but it did not trickle through.
I think this is where Coach Falkowski definitely shortens the bench up, and with the LeBlanc line as good as they've been tonight, just ride them right through the last 5, get them in every other shift if you can, because they're strong. They've been generating a lot of scoring chances.
1-on-1 for Rowan. Bobby Penrod shot denied by Odgers the first time, got his own rebound.
That one I think Mr. Odgers would like to have back, because that's one where the rebound comes off his glove, and I don't know if he thought he had it or not, the puck kind of sat there, and I think he might have lost that one. But, that's a tough one because it's – but again, give credit to the Rowan player. He followed his own rebound. He followed his shot, So you can't take anything away from them. They've just outskated the D-core on that to get to the puck.
Generated the one-on-one left side and then connected off his own rebound. And now a rough the other way. We're running out of paper. A rough at 15-16. And this one's going to go against Jared Cohen of the Profs.
Goes without saying, James, Delaware has to score here.
Must.
Yes.
There's no arguing that. It is must. Rowan kills this. It's pretty much done.
Sure. It'll be real tough. I mean, you still have 2:44 left, but this year will make it a lot easier.
Rowan goal, his second of the game, scored by number 14, Bobby Penrod, assisted by number 20, Nick Ramos. Time of the goal, 15:05. Penrod's second of the game from Ramos at 15:05. Rowan penalty, assessed to number 2, Jared Cohen, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty, 15:16. Cohen 2 for roughing at 15:16. We're set to go now. 4:40 to go. Rodriguez with a cannon from center point right into the glove of Rink, who holds on to force the stoppage. .438, the correct time left here in the third period. Raymore to Rodriguez up high. Thrown into a congested slot, stick check down by Rucci. Ramos fed the puck to him up the neutral zone, stopping at the blue line near side. Rucci flips it deep into Delaware territory, and Cal Raymore accelerates up the left wing boards to regain the Rowan line. Angled to the far corner by Krasner. Raymore is forced to circle behind the cage, tried to flip it net front to Hooper, who couldn't connect on the welcome mat. Zone protected by Rodriguez. Raymore again in close. Missed his line on the doorstep. Swift winds up, fed the puck from up high by Rodriguez. His shot from the top of the left circle was blocked down. And we've got another one out of play with 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go in regulation.
So you basically split that with the second power play unit. Now comes out the LeBlanc, which I believe would be their first power play unit.
That's
right
correct.
Now. So, which they didn't get a goal there, but they had good pressure. So let's hope that now the first line can pot one for them.
And it looks like Rowan's taking their timeout.
Smart timeout, though.
With 3:45 to go.
Give your PK guys a little breather here. That was a smart timeout by Rowan, but it also gives Delaware a chance to plan things out. And they may just I know it sounds crazy, James, but 3:45 left to go. They may actually look to pull Odgers while they still have a minute left. So I'm not sure if they'll. If
you can get a minute of 6-on-4.
Yeah,
it's risky.
It is.
But
it is.
How much risk is there if you're down by 2?
You're down 2. If you're down 1, maybe a different story. But if you're down 2,
you've got to take some chances.
Sure. No risk, no reward. Right, James?
Right.
So, but I'm not sure if he'll do it or not because I don't know. I think with the first power play unit out there, I think you got a good shot of doing it. If I'm in that situation and I'm thinking about pulling it, this is the line I want to have out to do it because they've had pretty good pressure all night long.
Now the other question is, do you bring in A-Rod and Marciniak both on the blue line and essentially have 6 forwards?
In this situation, what was that movie, Dodgeball, where he says, well, at this point you can't hold anything back. Well, that's what you do, You don't hold anything back.
Odgers will stay in. It is worth noting again, we are right back on Delaware Hockey Night Radio after this, with the Delaware women taking on Cal U. We'll pick up coverage of that in progress at DEHockeyNight.com. Marciniak, LeBlanc, Moran, Sapia, Lowe are the 5 on now for the second wave of this power play. Marciniak will start it up from behind his own goal. He plays the puck to his right. Moran, blue, red, over the Rowan blue line. He comes in up the middle. He's angled to the far boards by Ramos. Looking for somewhere to go. He feeds the puck back to Marciniak. LeBlanc right dot. Marciniak one-timer through traffic. Blocked over to the far corner. Moran fields it there. Leaves it to Lowe behind the cage. 22 seconds left on the power play. Down to the last 3 minutes of the game. Moran steps up left dot, shoots. Rink blocks down the line. Catches and holds onto the puck with exactly 3 minutes to go. 17 seconds left on the PK. And the Profs with a 2-goal lead still.
Strong killers for the Profs, James.
No question.
Great lateral movement on these guys, and there's a face-off.
And there's another clear from Rucci.
Kid's a good hockey player, really good hockey player.
Lot of good hockey players on this Rowan side. They may be outsized by Delaware, but you know what? There is ample talent in brown and gold. They always bring a good fight to Delaware, and this is one of the more offensive-minded ones. 8-6. I think there's been more pucks in the net tonight than the 4 Rowan-Delaware games prior that I've seen put together.
James, you're going to have to use a little bit more ink on your running out of room paper.
Yeah, I know.
Another Delaware penalty, and it probably... Well, it's an understatement to say it couldn't come at a tougher time for Delaware.
2.5 minutes to go. I think this one's pretty much in the books, Bob.
But Delaware's definitely going to have to take chances on this kill. They're going to have to send somebody.
They're going to have to attack.
And they are. Right now, you see the Delaware forward already breaking.
This is Paisley up the left side, chased down the puck. Martorella crashes the net. Paisley's tied up behind by Ryan Conlon, who won the battle for the puck. Delaware penalty assist to number 5, Kyle Sapia, 2 minutes for kneeing. Time of the penalty, 17:30. Sapia 2 for kneeing at 17:30. So we're inside the final 2 minutes of regulation. Ryan Conlon with the puck at the left point. Blocked down by Paisley. Chris Conlon looking for his 4th on the night. Couldn't control the puck net front, and Raymore takes it away. Advanced to Paisley. Shot from 35 feet away with stick check to the far corner. Odgers looks for the cue to come off. 1.5 minutes to go. Rowan still up 8-6. Martorella holds the left point. Shot from there, stick checked in the atmosphere by Ryan Conlon. It bounces to the near corner, mishandled by Nauman. Taken away from him by Cohen. Corralled by Rucci. Played up the far boards, and that, ladies and gentlemen, will do it. An empty net goal for the Rowan Profs. Makes it 9-6.
That was a quick turnaround, wasn't it? You know, it's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unanswered goals.
It just goes to show you can't take a shift off in this game, James. Not one, because you know, especially in a tight game, the momentum can swing so quickly. But again, you have to be smart with everything. You know, the penalties, the passing. You know, you just
Delaware couldn't hold the zone. Rowan pounced.
You can't throw it through blind. And this team is fast. They will quickly make you pay for things. But I'm sure you know what, this might be in the books type of game now. But Delaware will come right back in their next one. I'm sure they'll put it back together. Coach Falkowski wasn't coach of the year for no reason.
Rowan goal, his 4th of the evening, scored by number 21, Chris Conlon. An empty net power play goal, assisted by number 13, Trevor Rucci. Time of the goal, 18:52. Chris Conlon's 4th from Rucci. An empty net power play goal at 18:52. So the last 35 seconds, a mere formality, as Rowan will head back to Hollydale with a 9-6 victory. They take on Ryder tomorrow. Meanwhile, Delaware will face off against Maryland next Friday at the Gardens Ice House in Laurel. We will not have that game on Delaware Hockey Night, but we'll have a full recap of it at dehockeynight.com following its conclusion. Bob, we'll be with the Division I team next weekend for a home-and-home series against Drexel's Dragons.
Should be a good one, James. And
Game
again,
time here Friday, 7 o'clock, and then I don't know if you're making the trip up to Philadelphia with me on Saturday, but we'll go old school radio style from the city of brotherly love for the second half of that home-and-home, all on dehockeynight.com.
We have, right, James?
The final seconds tick off the clock at Fred Rust Arena, and the Rowan University Profs on the shoulders of 4 goals from Chris Conlon hand the University of Delaware Blue Hens Division II team their second loss of the season. The final score 9-6. 5 unanswered goals. Rather, 4 unanswered goals. Shifting the tone of this in the end. And you see now why the Rowan Profs continue on undefeated out of the first state.
It's a very good team, you know, and it's a tough loss, but you can pick up a lot of stuff from this loss, you know. They sit down, they look at the film, they figure out, like, okay, we can correct everything that happened tonight can be corrected, you know. It definitely can be corrected. So it's not like, you know, they were that much better of a team. Delaware just needs to pick it up in some of these games and not take any shifts off. So I look forward to seeing them come right back in the next game and getting fired right up again, James.
I feel like there were a lot of the residual issues from Ohio still lingering along, but like you said, it's all fixable.
And you're playing against a completely different style team than Ohio. This was a small, very fast team that they contested every single puck, James, every single puck. Delaware didn't have any free rides.
Mike Sullivan uses the phrase compete level a lot. Rowan brought that today.
Very high.
I don't know if Delaware did consistently. They did in the second period, but it went away in the third.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. You know, it's always tough to tell. It's so hard to predict a lot of times. You figure Delaware could lock this thing away, and then, you know, Rowan just kept coming, and they said
they didn't relent.
No, and again, you know how I like to say, you young players. Well, you know, you young players, you got to look at a game like this and say, all right, I now see what they say. Never take a shift off. You can't, because you do, and it's in the back of the net. Because it could be your man. 4 guys are working hard, but 1 guy, then it's all over. You know, it's in the net, and it's just 1 guy that has to not pull his weight.
And once again, the final score this evening, Rowan Profs 9, Delaware Blue Hens 6. That'll do it on Delaware Hockey Night TV. For Bob Thomas, this is James Witherite. Stick around on Delaware Hockey Night Radio. Head to dehockeynight.com. We'll be on with coverage of the University of Delaware women's team taking on California University of Pennsylvania in a College Hockey East matchup. That will come up next on DHN Radio. Thanks for your company the past couple hours. Switch over to dehockeynight.com. There's more hockey to come.